This is Gareth Southgate, and this is the Three Lions podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Three Lions podcast. My name is Russell Osborne and this is an independent England supporters podcast. First and foremost, I hope you, your friends and family are all well. And whilst there's no football to talk about in these uncertain times, there are a few things going on that we can talk about. One quiet afternoon recently, I sat down with an England history book, a date calculator app, and worked out how many days it was since our last international and all the previous Englandless days. Kosovo away seems quite a while back now, and as of the 29th of April, it was 164 days ago, and it equals the previous longest period without a game England have endured, which was back in 1970 when we exited the Mexico World Cup at the hands of West Germany. That was on the 14th of June, losing 3-2 after extra time. And we wouldn't play again until the 25th of November, 164 days later, when East Germany were the opposition, and we won 3-1 at Wembley. I know it's a small token, but at least that Kosovo game wasn't a defeat. Previous to that, either side of the Second World War, end of 1940 and beginning of 1941, 273 days elapsed. And between the end of 1945 and the start of 1946, which ties in with the end of World War II, we went 511 days without playing. But the biggest margin was 2,031 days between 1914 and 1919, the period of the First World War. Now, no doubt, like myself, you've received an email from UEFA or the FA with information about ticketing for the rescheduled European Championships. It would appear that they're going to keep hold of our money until next year. Existing ticket purchases should remain valid, but it seems they're going to open a ticket refund portal, if it's not open already, for those that know that they can't attend for whatever reason. Now, I can foresee that this has the potential to be troublesome for many. Best bet is to keep tabs on the UEFA website or wait for updates from the Supporters Club. And speaking of rescheduled European Championships, the women's tournament due to take place here in England next year, UEFA have now officially confirmed it will take place in 2022, the 6th to the 31st of July to be precise. Hardly surprising, really, given that the men's tournament has now been scheduled for next year. But on the day that this was announced, 23rd of April, the FA also revealed that Phil Neville will leave his role as Lionesses head coach next summer 2021. Now, he was originally contracted up until then, which would have been when the original scheduled Euros would have finished. But now with no tournament for the best part of 2 years, the FA now have some time to find his successor. Up until now, Phil took charge of 35 games, winning 19 and losing 11. Although it must be said that 7 of those have come since the World Cup semi-final last year. And I'm sure we'll look at this a little bit more in depth in a later podcast. Anyway, enough of my ramblings. Coming up on this episode, we'll speak with an England fan from overseas, with a twist. Block 109 have announced a new fundraising project, and we remember some England players who have sadly passed on. I'd like to welcome back to the Three Lions podcast, CJ Joyner. Hello, CJ.
Hello, Russ.
You all right?
Yeah, a bit bored with the current situation, but we're all in the same boat, really, aren't we? Pretty much. So.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, just to let listeners know, you're actually coming up on a podcast, hopefully very soon. We've got your first England away game that's coming up soon for for everyone to be aware of. So thanks for that one. That was coming soon.
Yeah, and it was about as exciting as what our lives are at the moment. That game.
Oh,
So, yeah.
No, don't. You've got to sell it. I want people to listen. No, it's an exciting one, people. But no, you're here to on behalf of Block 109 because Block 109 have launched a new fundraising initiative, which is quite exciting, and I'm pleased to say I have contributed to it. But I was kind of hoping you could maybe explain a little bit about it, how it came to fruition, how supporters can get involved, and what they can win, really.
Well, I was getting a bit frustrated with because football of late has had a bit of a bashing, really, with regards to there's been a lot of negatives about football not contributing enough and so on. And I'm looking at it and thinking, well, as a set of supporters, we can change this. And then obviously the players have come out since and they've said they're going to do things, which is brilliant. But, I thought, well, during this current situation and beyond that, we can actually do something together for a relatively low cost. So I approached Kühnauer Pat, who's been on several of your podcasts, and he's actually a frontline worker in the NHS, and also Mike Curtis, who's another regular at away games. All three of us are involved in the Block 109 initiative. So we came up with the idea of a Block 109 club. The idea was to raise as much money as possible and get as many people involved as possible. So, for example, I'll use you as an example, Russ. Russ pays in £5 a month, and when he signed up, he got given a number. As with regards to the team as well, they get a legacy number. So Russ has got a legacy number. So if he chose to not be involved anymore after about 6 months and come back 6 months later, he'd still have the same number. So that's how we're kind of doing it, really. So Russ gets given a number. What we do at the end of the month, 3 numbers get drawn out. They get drawn out by somebody completely independent. We're hoping for somebody from the FA to do it, to be honest, just to make it a bit more kind of not necessarily a bit more official, but just a proper way of doing it, so that there's no accusations of cheating or anything like that. So the idea is 3 numbers get drawn out, and they get a smallish cash prize. So 20 quid, 10 quid, and a fiver. The 3 numbers do, and those 3 numbers belong to to 3 members. What we would then do, we'd then do it the month after that, the month after that, and the month after that. Now, I think we've got 23 people signed up at the moment, and obviously there's prizes there of 35 quid. And so we're thinking, well, what's going on with the other £80? Well, the other £80 stays in the pot. It stays in our PayPal account. And what would happen to it? It just builds up every month. So over the course of the year, at the moment, with 23 members, we'd end up with around about £1,000. Now, if we based it on that, at the end of the year, we'd probably be looking at donating maybe half of that to a charity over here.
Right.
Maybe the one that the FA supports, maybe a different one. That the FA is supporting the Heads Up campaign at the moment. So it could be that. It could be a cancer charity or something like that. And the rest of the money would get donated within the cities that we play in. Let's say, for example, we played in Lithuania again. We can only play there so many times, but if we played there again, hopefully we'd play in Canals this time, and we would find a local community group before we arrive in Canals. We'd find them out, and we'd say donate £100 into that community group. Now that could be spent on tickets. The kids involved in that community group could go to the match when they may not have been able to, or we buy some books for them, or say half a dozen footballs and some cones and bibs or something like that. So we're actually helping the communities that we actually go to. Now, obviously, these numbers are at the current rate that they are now, but eventually we could actually be donating 2 or 3 or 4 times what we're saying. So it's going to build up. The idea kind of came to me because an ice hockey team in Coventry, they started one. Must have been about 7 or 8 years ago now, at least. And they had about 40 people sign up, paying just under £5. It was effectively £1 a week. So it was just short of £5. What would then happen? Again, that would get drawn out, and they would win a money can't buy prize. 2 or 3 people would win a signed shirt, or that one of them would win a place on the bench. They've now got 250 members, so they're making over £1,000, around about £1,000, maybe £1,100 per month,
Nice.
which is just, it's just fantastic. And that actually goes into support the club. Obviously, ice hockey is not as well funded as what football is, so all the money that comes from us will go into a local charity, not into a national charity, not into running the FA.
Yes.
But so that's the major difference. But it just shows that where it can actually go to, we could potentially get up to that level, and it'd be absolutely fantastic if we do. This is a little bit of an appeal as well to anybody that's got any connections that might be able to help us out with some prizes, because if we can get some money can't buy prizes, it doesn't necessarily have to be England related. It could just be football related or something that you can't necessarily just go down the shops and buy. If we could get some of that sort of thing in, obviously we can give that out instead of the cash, and it'd be fantastic if we could keep all the cash in house rather than giving it away as prizes, because then there's more money available for the charities and the good causes. That's the position that we kind of wanted to be in. As I said, it started well. 23 people. There's still time to sign up, and effectively, you just send it off to our send a £5 off to our PayPal account. Russell, I'm sure, will put that out. That PayPal account, the email address, in a tweet.
Oh, I have it here as well. I can mention it now.
That's fantastic, Russ.
Which is block109fundraising@gmail.com. Yeah, as you say, I will, of course, put that on a tweet that goes out with this podcast. But yeah, this is a really great initiative, and as you say, something that in this current climate where players and football in general got a little bit of a battering, the supporters and the Block 109 initiative to do this, I think is a real positive step forward, and I'm pleased to be part of it, and I wish it all the very best of luck.
Yeah, and best of luck to you as well, Russ. Hopefully your name will get drawn out a couple of times throughout the year, and you'll get some decent prizes there.
We shall see. I'll keep my fingers crossed. So when was the first draw going to be made? Do we know?
It's going to be made at the end of each month. So we said initially that what we would do, we would make a draw once we've got sort of 20 people at the end of that month. So it's April at the moment. If we didn't get 20 people by the end of this month, we'd make it at the end of May as the first draw. And obviously people would just pay that £5 in for the first month, whether they did it in April or May. There's no real time limit of when people can pay in throughout the month. It could be literally the morning of when we do the draw. It's whenever, really. As I said, it's just a reasonably cheap way that people can get involved in something that could be quite big and will be very, very, very good for the community in our country and the communities in which we play in abroad.
Great stuff. Well, I wish you all the very best of luck with it.
Yeah, thank you, Russ.
So welcome to the Three Lions podcast, and we're going abroad this time. We're going out of England. We've spoken to plenty of England fans in the past, but we're doing something a little different. We're going abroad. We are speaking to an England fan in Germany, or a German England fan. I'd like to welcome Marco Kühnauer. Hello, Marco.
Hello, Russell. I am very pleased to take part at this podcast. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. This is a first for me. Meeting a foreign England fan.
Okay.
You're German, obviously. You're living over was it just outside of Hamburg?
Yeah, I live in the north of Hamburg. It's perhaps 40 minutes away from Hamburg, in direction to the north, in direction to the Baltic Sea. Yeah, there I live now. It's called New Münster. Yeah, a little town with 40,000 people who live here. Yeah, small town, but nice. We have everything here. Yeah.
Good. Now, I first came across you, and I read about you going back to 2017 in the England v Germany programme. You had a little feature in that. Well, come on then. How did this all come about? You're a German and you support England. How did this all happen?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question, and everyone is asking me the same question. Yeah, the background is I'm a Berliner. I'm from Berlin, from West Berlin, and in Berlin were the Allies, the West Allies, and especially the English soldiers with their families and with their children, with their childs. And as a young pupil, you go to school, and after school you have friends. With them you are playing, and I was a friend of a lot of little English guys, and yeah, they invited me to come to their families, and I was the only German who was in friendship with a lot of English, teenagers, and that's the reason why I came into contact with the parents, and especially with the fathers. And yeah, there's only one thing you can talk about, yeah, football. Yeah, and they talked about football, and that was the moment when I was influenced by the virus of England. And we always talked about the English teams and the national team and living in England and so on. And yeah, I was nearly every day with them, and that's the reason that I became a real England fan, not even for football, but also for the country, for the people, and for the majesty and so on. Yeah, that's the reason. That's the background, because of the divided town, West Berlin. Yeah.
I see. Very interesting. So this, I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
53 years old, and in May I become 54. So I'm an old man, but in the heart, I'm a young lion.
Well, that gives us an idea of sort of that time and when you were young and playing with those English boys and meeting the English families. I see. I mean, bringing it right up to date. I mean, what do your friends and your family think about it?
Let's start with my family. My lovely wife, Heike, she's also an England fan. She loves England in your heart even more than Germany. She comes with me to the England games, but especially to the calm games. Yeah, perhaps we were together at Malta and we were together at Wembley and so on. But when we have interesting games, then I will celebrate with my English friends, and then my wife stays at home. And then my son Tobias, who's a former professional boxer, he's also a very, very big England fan, and he loves England so much. And then we go together with my son and meet our English friends and mates at the away games. That's my family. So we are all influenced with the England virus. My friends, my nearest friends, accept it. They understand it, and they say, yeah, the English football is the homeland, yeah, or the motherland of football, and they accept it. But there are a lot of, I think, German neighbors and so on. You know what I mean. They don't understand it, and they have a different opinion. But I'm not interested in them. I have my friends and my family, and we have all the English virus in us, in our heart. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I mean, you've even gone as far to, well, I've seen you've got an England tattoo as well, haven't you?
I have more than one England tattoo. Oh, right. I have the 3 lines on my right arm. Then I have the letters from England on my right arm, and on my chest over my heart, I have the English line, with the England flag, and he has in his legs or in his arms the line, the football, and has a crown on its head. So it's the symbol for the powerful England and the powerful English football and the powerful English people. Yeah. Wow. But it's not the last tattoo. I have a project. When Corona is over and the tattoo artists are reopened again, then I will have a big England on my back in letters, in very big letters on my back, so that when you are in the summer at the beach, or when you're going to football away matches and it's warm outside and you can put off your T-shirts, then I will show my support for England. Yeah.
Wow, I'll be able to spot you then.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you're a braver man than me for having the tattoos. I don't think I could. The idea of having a needle in me makes me go all funny, but I take my hat off to you.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
I'm starting to think now. I'm wondering if there's an English fan who follows the German or the German team and the German national in the same way as you do. I wonder if there's someone like that. Have you come across anyone?
No, I don't know anyone. All my friends and all my mates are surprised when I show them my tattoos and so on. No, but I can tell you there are some more German guys who are following the English national team, and I have a good mate. Yeah, I met him at the away match at the Nations League game in Porto, and he has also England tattoos. He follows England away, and he has now the English citizenship. He became an England, and he fought for it 5 years, and now he has become an English one. He has now 2 passports, England and Germany.
And
There are some German guys who support England as much as me. Yeah, I'm not the
wow.
only one.
Oh, so I see. I mean, let's talk football then. Well, when was your first England game? When do you first remember watching England, and then when did you come to England and watch? Because every game is an away game for you.
Yeah, and that was a problem because I was very interested to follow the England games, even at Wembley or away games, and I didn't know about many years how to get the tickets for England games because I was not so much involved in the system of CFA and so on. And then I lost in 2010, I lost my job in the bank, and I had time for over half a year to join the internet and to join the whole day the websites. And then I was looking for the possibility and asking the internet, Google, how it is possible to become an England fan and to watch England games in England. And then I saw the possibility to become a member of CFA. And then I started my first membership at CFA with a normal membership for the home games. Yeah, you know.
Yes.
And then we took part at our first England game with my lovely wife in 2011. It was, I think, the European qualification against Switzerland in June. Yeah, I think it was a qualification for the European Championships. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then it was our first trip to Wembley, and we saw our first England game at Wembley. And then I was investigating even more and learned a few people who told me how to become a full member with a possibility to follow England away games. Yeah. And then I asked for an England away membership at the England Supporters Club. And then I became, with my son and my wife, a full member. And from that on, we followed England also away from England, yeah, when they were playing in Glasgow in Scotland, or when they were playing at Malta and Amsterdam and so on. And that was the greatest moment in my life to be a part of the England away family, yeah, you know. And now at the moment, I know a lot of people, and it's like coming home. It's not like football's coming home. It's like Marco's coming home, because I know so many people, and they are so lovely and so with such a great heart, and it's even fantastic. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, what did the England Supporters Club? Did they say anything to you about coming from Germany?
Yeah. They said nothing, but then they recognized, I think 2 or 3 years later, that I am a German supporter from Germany, an original German one who's supporting England. And then they were asking me in 2017, Richard from the England Supporters Club asked me if I would like to play in the England national fan team against the old enemy Germany. and I told him, I would do it, so I would love it. But I'm only 176 centimeters. And at the moment in 2017, I had the weight of perhaps 117 kg. Yeah, I was a muscular but a little fat man, And I told Richard, hey, Richard, when I was playing, I could only stand in the goal. And he said, yeah, it doesn't matter. The only thing what's interesting is that you play. And then they picked us up at our hotel at the Wembley Arena. We were staying at the Ibis Hotel at Wembley. They picked us up and drove us to the playground. And then I learned the other English team members. They warmly invited me to play with them. And we are friends now from this moment on. And a few hours ago, I wrote with a mate of me, or I could say a friend of mine, who's living in Turkey. He was also playing, and I met another member at Porto who was playing in the middle field in the England national fan team. Yeah, and that was a great honor for me. The biggest moment in my life to play as a fucking German. Yeah, excuse me for this letter. As a fucking German in an England national team against Germany. It was the biggest moment in my life. The biggest moment I will never forget. Yeah.
Did the German team give you any stick? Did you receive any abuse?
No, after the game, they were very friendly, and we were sitting together in a pub because the FA invited us, the English team and the German team, after the game to a pub, and we were all sitting together and all drinking our pins. And they asked me, hey, how are you as a German in an English team? And I explained it like I explained it to you, that I grew up in Berlin and so on. And then they said, okay, that's very interesting. We understand why you feel for England and why England is in your heart. Yeah, but was a very friendly and very warm atmosphere. There was no hate or something like that or disbehavior. It was very, very friendly, very good atmosphere. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I mean, traveling with England, watching England, you must. I think there's been 2 games in Germany that you may have been to. There was the game in Dortmund, which I've seen a picture of you at, and there was the game in Berlin where
I took part at both games. Yeah,
you went to both of those, and you were in the England end, were you?
Yeah, it's now we come to a very interesting story. But I can tell you in front of it, I can say not the name of my mate because he would come in difficulty, or he would become difficult. But I will tell you the story. The Berlin game in 2016, I think, was playing when my demand for the membership of the away membership was still in process. Yeah. Mm. No, but I think when I tell the story, I can get in trouble with myself with the English FA. So let me shorten the story. I was in the away end with my English brothers and sisters, and from that moment on, I was a full member of the away section, and I could stand at the away end from England. But even in Berlin, I was standing in the away end. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the same in Dortmund as well, was it?
No, in Dortmund I had the full membership. In Dortmund I was in the away end. Right. I had the tickets from the FA, and I was a full member from the England away club. And no, in Dortmund I had my tickets from the FA. Everything was fine and okay.
I mean, we're all missing football at the moment, aren't we? It's across the world. We're all in the same position.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, it's a very unfortunate situation. I mean, over here in England, we get a lot of talk about. I mean, it's just paper talk, really, and talk on the internet of when potentially football might come back, and can they finish the season, and will international football, when will that start? I mean, what's the sort of talk in Germany with regards to like the Bundesliga and that sort of thing? What do the German supporters, football fans, talk about?
Yeah, it's the same situation like in the UK. Yeah, the newspapers are talking about and writing about football the whole day. The supporters are talking about football, and they are even very, very disappointed about the situation of coronavirus. Yeah, and but they understand that there's actually no possibility for coming back to play in the arena. Yeah, they are talking in Germany. They are talking about the possibility to play called ghost games without spectators. But most of the people are saying it's not comfortable to play ghost games. Yeah, everyone is very disappointed and very sad about this situation. Yeah, we have a lot of matches who were very interesting. We have the Pokal, like the FA Cup. We have cup games. Yeah. We have on the 26th of May, we have the cup final in Germany, like the FA Cup final in England. Yeah. Yeah, nobody knows how the season is going on and how the season will end. If there will be games, or if we get a new champion from the Bundesliga, we don't know. Yeah, it's a shit situation. Nobody knows how it's going on. Yeah. And even the second Bundesliga or the third, even the fourth league, yeah. They are thinking about completely lockdown, about breaking up the season and not playing anymore. And yeah, it's a shit situation. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did hear that, is it Bayern Munich have gone back to training? Is that correct? I mean, is it a publicity thing or is it legitimate? Yeah. Do they think it's going to be? Yeah. What's the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, the reason even Hertha BSC. Hertha BSC, the German, the Berlin football club, is also training again. They are playing in little groups of 8 persons, yeah, and no group of the 8 persons could get in contact with another group of 8 persons, because when somebody of the first team is influenced with corona, they not influence the other people with the coronavirus. Yeah, I think Bayern Munich or Hertha BSC or even Werder Bremen, they are preparing for the possibility that the Bundesliga is going on, but nobody knows it at the moment yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we watch this space. I mean, it does appear that Germany as a country is quite well advanced in your healthcare, is what I'm seeing. Yeah. So maybe you'll be one of the first to get up and running again. We shall see.
We will see, but I don't think so, because the government said that big events are forbidden until the 31st of August, and bigger events means more than 1,000 people. Yeah, it's forbidden in Germany until the end of August. So I think that there's no possibility of playing the Bundesliga to the end. Yeah, and there, let me say one thing: there's a club, Borussia Mönchengladbach. Yeah, prepares the arena with spectators made of
card.
Yeah, of card. Yeah,
I saw that. Yes.
Yeah. And then they want over the what does it mean in English? The speakers. Yeah, yes. About the speakers. Yeah, they want to make the noise like in a normal Bundesliga game. Yeah, but it's only the second choice. We hope the best, and everybody hopes in Germany that they will find a medicament. Yeah. To fight the virus, and that it's going on with football and the normal life. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I take it you're all fit and well, and your family.
Yeah. Until now, good. We pray to God that it will be in the next month also. Yeah. We pray to God. Yeah.
Well, let's just return back to football briefly. I mean, you're going back to England. What is your favourite or your best highlight of following England?
Yeah, I think my biggest highlight was the away game at Hampden Park, Scotland.
Oh, yes.
It was an incredible atmosphere. Yeah, to go to the arena, to be in the arena, on the left side, on the right side, above us. Everything was overcrowded with the Scottish fans, yeah, and I haven't to tell you how's the rivalry between England and Scotland, and it was an incredible atmosphere in the arena. And it was I think my biggest highlight to take part at an England game. Even after the game, when we went back to the train station, there was a police, the Scottish Transport Police, and we wanted to go back to inner city from Glasgow with a train because it was, I think, 5 or 6 kilometers, miles outside from Glasgow. And the Transport Police said, yeah, no train is running.
That's right. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And then we crossed little houses, little ways, little streets to come to the inner city of Glasgow, and it was an incredible, amazing atmosphere. And I will never forget it in the arena, the incredible atmosphere, never. And I think the second very, very good atmosphere was in Berlin when England won over the old enemy Germany. Yeah, first everyone thought that Germany will beat England. I think they made 2 goals, 1 or 2 goals, and England was only with 0 goals, and then England won 3-2 over Germany, and it was an incredible atmosphere. Even before the game, we were at the Hackescher Markt, at a pub, Kilkenny pub at Hackescher Markt, and we were celebrating with our English mates at the Hackescher Markt at the Kilkenny pub hours before the game. So it was also incredible. I have some videos of it, and I watch the videos, I think every month, one time, because it was a very, very good atmosphere. Yeah, Amsterdam. My wife is listening to our interview, and she said Amsterdam was also. She was not with me in Amsterdam. I was with my son. Amsterdam was also cool in the city, but not in the arena. The arena was located not so good, and was not such a good atmosphere. I liked even Malta. Malta was amazing because it was different to many other arenas, to many other games. It was in a biological area. There was only the arena and nothing around. Yeah, it was also amazing, but I think nothing can top Scotland. Scotland was brilliant.
Yeah, that was a good game, and one that will live in a lot of England fans' memories. I remember that one very well. Marco, thank you very much for joining us and taking the time to speak to us on the Three Lions podcast.
Really, really big thank you to you, Russell, for choosing me for such an interview. And I would say to all the England supporters and my England family, brothers and sisters, I'm really proud to be a part of you. And thank you all for taking me on as a German in your great England family.
Thank you very much, and we must meet up at the next England game, wherever that may be. Let's meet up and have a beer together.
For sure.
Now, sadly, in recent times, many England supporters have passed away. And my thoughts and condolences are with their family and friends. And sadly, some former England players have passed on too. Now, as I've always done, is just pay some respects to those that have worn the Three Lions in the past. Peter Whittingham was aged 35 when he passed away on the 19th of March following an accident where he sustained a head injury to which he didn't recover. Peter played for Aston Villa, Burnley, Derby County, Cardiff City and Blackburn Rovers, and he also appeared 17 times for the England under-21 side, scoring 3 times. Following a long illness, goalkeeper Peter Bonetti sadly died, aged 78, on Sunday the 12th of April. Known as the Cat, Peter played 600 games in 2 spells for Chelsea. He won 7 England caps, mainly because a certain Gordon Banks was in front of him. And he made his debut in a 1966 World Cup warm-up game against Denmark. He was part of the squad, but didn't play a part in the tournament, but did belatedly receive his winner's medal. Sadly, his time with England is probably more remembered for the World Cup quarter-final in 1970 against West Germany, where he did replace an ill Gordon Banks. England lost 3-2 despite being 2-0 up. It was his last time in an England shirt.
Merker. Good save by Bonetti. And brave goalkeeping. He went in the second time. It was a 50-50 ball. You can't blame the forward.
Norman Hunter passed away after contracting coronavirus aged 76. He'll forever be known as one of the hard men of English football. Known also as Bites Your Legs, a mainstay at Leeds United between 1962 and 1976. He also appeared for Bristol City and Barnsley, and he won 28 England caps, generally all as a centre-back. He made his debut away against Spain in 1965 as a substitute in a 2-0 win. And despite his nickname and image, he only received one yellow card in his England time. He scored twice, once against Spain in 68 and again against Wales in 1973. He too was also part of Alf Ramsey's 1966 World Cup winning squad, but never made the pitch. And like Bonetti, he was awarded his winner's medal in 2009. He died Friday the 17th of April.
With that lethal left foot, really tore onto it, and the shot fairly screamed past Sprake. You don't blame goalkeepers for that, you congratulate scorers.
In fact, Bonetti and Hunter played 3 times together. Firstly, in a 1-0 away win in 1967 in Austria, and an away win over Spain in 1968, one where Hunter scored, and the 1970 World Cup quarter-final defeat to West Germany. Thank you for listening, and indeed thank you to Marco and to CJ who told us about the Block 109 project. You can follow Marco over on Instagram at CU1966 and CJ part of the at England Block 109 group. They're on Twitter. Right, I'll leave you to your day. If you want to follow the show on Twitter, you can do at 3 Lions Podcast. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll be back soon with another in our series of England at the European Championships, another supporters first England away game, and also I recently had a chat with a very high-profile journalist and indeed England fan. Don't know which one to release first. You'll find out if you stay subscribed and stay safe. So until the next time, cheers!